Reiki, made up of two words, Rei and Ki, has become a word which has increasingly become popular. An increasing number of people are now becoming conscious and aware of this word, of this term, as compared to before. And this is because the sense of awareness about energy, the sense of the level of our consciousness about us being more than just our physical bodies is on the rise like anything, like never before. We always have been way more than just our physical bodies, our physicalities. In fact, we are way more non-physical than we are the physical. And energy is what we are at our core. And in this kind of a rising awareness and consciousness, it is no wonder that Reiki, one of the most popular, one of the most well-known forms of energy healing, is now becoming increasingly known. The word Rei and Ki in itself does not mean energy healing. It just refers to this divine, omnipotent, divine life energy, the universal life force, which is all-pervading, which is always surrounding us, whether we believe in it or not, whether we are aware of it or not. It is the energy which powers our very breath. So you can also relate Ki to what is called prana in Sanskrit. The prana, which is the very life force which powers the life in your body, which powers your breath. You can also consider it like chi, the life force chi, as is used in Chinese. So that is what Reiki refers to in its core term, but the word as it's presently commonly used is referred to for Reiki healing, one of the most popular forms of energy healing. Now, who is a Reiki healer? So let me come to that. Unlike the most common and easiest and cliched perception that a Reiki healer is simply someone who has taken certain required levels of Reiki attunement, Reiki placements, etc., over a certain period of time, a few months, and so on. My connection to the term, my definition of this term healer is very, very different. So for me, Reiki healer is not someone who's merely someone who's taken these set level of certain placements or Reiki attunements. It is way more than that, someone who has been already on the path to their own inner healing and their own inner work and their own inner awareness, so that they are at this point of time as a healer already at a certain level of understanding what healing is, how it works inwards rather than outwards, how it empowers us, what is it guides us through, what is it requires from us, and so as someone who's looking to connect back to the light, what does it entail. And receiving a Reiki certificate or Reiki placement is just a kind of what I would say a formal kind of parameter or a formal learning, you can say. It is not the beginning of the process, it is not the end of the process, it is just one single milestone. And usually people who go on to become Reiki masters, at least traditionally, at least for the way it has been with me, have already been on the path of healing, on the path of seeking healing deeply for their own selves, for wanting to know their own selves better and deeper, because they know a part of them needs light, a part of them needs more empowerment than the external circumstances allow them to, in order to feel more whole, more peace, more harmonious, more loving, more joyful every single day within the same set of circumstances and conditions in their life, to have the power to bring them to a state of greater grounding, centering, harmony and peace in everything that surrounds them, and to be able to create more and more of that in their life effortlessly, because that is what their divine right is. They are worthy of that state of peace and joy and wholesomeness at all times, independent of whatever exists outside of them. So someone who has already sought this, has already been on the path, and has already done at least a certain amount of deep inner rigorous work so as to have to come to a certain level of understanding and deep wisdom, which is not merely bookish or which cannot be granted to you by any amounts of placements or certificates, is someone who is ready to be a Reiki healer. Now, healing is a never-ending journey. It doesn't have a set end. It is continuous and ever-increasing process of evolvement, of growth, and a Reiki healer is no different. The journey continues before the formal initiation into Reiki, and after that it's a journey of growth. And only because you have been on that journey, you understand that are you at a certain level of wisdom, or you are at a certain level, you're at a certain place to be able to guide others. Of course, Reiki in itself does not necessarily mean for you to guide other people, but if you're someone who's deeply into spiritual healing, it will, and who truly has a passion for healing, you would definitely not be able to separate some aspect of sharing that spiritual wisdom with people who come to you, with clients who come to you. And you cannot just be a clinical Reiki healer sending them Reiki, even if it is not involving your own energy. It's just something that is being channeled to you, and it will work for them, be guided to flow to them exactly as they need it at that point of time. Even then, you will as a healer be sharing your insights, your spiritual wisdom in neutral ways with them when you see someone in pain. So for that to even to understand what's happening with them, even in that way, even if you're not doing it as part of a Reiki healing, you do require that level of wisdom, maturity, empathy, understanding, compassion, and a certain knowledge, first-hand understanding, insight, which has come to you through your own journey and which couldn't have come any other way. So for that, for me is someone who is ready to be who is the right healer, and not someone who just overnight takes a course, gets a certificate. Even if that feels empowering for themselves, I don't think they are really ready to be a healer. They may be helping their family with the Reiki sessions. It is a different thing than being a healer. So now what does a Reiki session entail? Let me come to that. So a Reiki session, simply put, is one of the most gentlest and free of worry ways in which healing or support or comfort can flow through to you. For me, it's always been that when healing becomes a joy, when you look forward to healing, for me, that is Reiki. Of course, there are many other spiritual healing ways, similar ways, and Reiki is one of them. A gentle, loving, and please do not be deceived by its gentleness, because it's deep power all within. The gentleness just disguises it, as I like to say. So that's how Reiki's for a Reiki session. You simply have to be lying down, preferably in a comfortable position. You can be reclining, but lying down is the preferred position because you can be much more comfortable and peaceful. And the Reiki healer works on you. You are fully clothed. It's not like a spa. You're not draped in towels or anything of that sort. You wear there with all your clothes on. You're just receiving healing. This healing can be sent to you, will be received by you, whether the Reiki healer is working with their hands on your body, touching you, or from a distance of a few feet away, as is the practice, especially when it comes to private areas, or whether they are sending you healing right from across the globe, right from anywhere between a few miles away to thousands of miles away, from across the waters, across the oceans. So that's how powerful Reiki healing is. How you perceive the healing will depend on a lot of different factors, including where you are currently at your own level of inner work, what state energetically you are in, whether you're an energetic mess, you've never done any healing, cleansing work on yourself, never meditated, never sought any other kind of healing, never gone inwards, never understood what this is all about, never looked at yourself as a non-physical being, or whether you're someone who's already reached a certain point, who's already sought some work, done some healing. So it depends on a lot of factors: your environment, what you're going through, whether it's a deep physical concern, deep emotional concern, past life trauma, current life emotional issues, concerns, your level of empowerment. So the Reiki energy is all intelligent. The healer doesn't decide what kind of energy you need. They can focus it on certain areas as they're being guided to, or obviously on certain areas where you know physically there's a concern. But other than that, Reiki flows with its own infinite divine intelligence. It knows exactly where you need to receive it at that particular point of time, and that area might be very different from the area of a certain physical concern. because the roots might be somewhere else in your energy field or in your body. So Reiki works not just at the symptoms, it works first at the deepest causes and the core and the origin of the symptoms, no matter across how many lifetimes. It works to give you back your power instead of disempowering you, as many other ways of modern healing can sometimes, but it works to empower you. It works in perfect complement to all systems of conventional treatment. It does not interfere with anything. It has no known side effects. There can never be anything such as too much Reiki. Anything and everything can be Reiki'd. It will always work for you at a particular point in time and space, exactly as you need it right then, and to heal what is surrounding the particular issue for which you are needing healing, and everything else, the appendages and other causes and other tangents around it. So how wonderful is that? But of course, deeper Reiki work, deeper healing work needs much more longer Reiki support, and also a healer who is much more grounded, as I said, to be able to support that kind of work and not just be, just giving session after session because it's profitable for them, but to really have an understanding of why they're doing something and to be able to guide the client better. And of course, if you're just looking for something which is like a chakra cleanse, a deep inner peace creating session, letting go of a lot of negative stress and accumulated energy, even one session from time to time can have a peaceful, calming, deeply comforting effect. But for other issues, a sustained Reiki therapy can be truly beneficial. It can take you and guide to other areas of your life, in other healing in other ways, which flows in different other ways to your life once, because it starts working, as I said, in all aspects of your life, and you can be surprised by what all breakthroughs, insights, observations can start coming to you. Your insight can develop better, your third eye can start opening more, you can become more conscious of things you were unaware of, you can be aware of releasing more things that no longer serve your highest good, including relationships, energies, habits, codependencies, addictions. And there's a whole range of ways in which Reiki works, which cannot be always quantified or always, they're not always tangible. So Reiki is life. It works to cleanse you, purify you, rejuvenate you, energize you, empower you back to connecting with the light, which is forever always a part of you. It was just being covered over by so much of that which is being conditioned and which is not for a highest good. It guides you to connect back to your own authentic version, which you always have been, so that peace and wholeness and joy on every level of your being, physical, mental, psychic, emotional, spiritual, material, whatever it is, flows effortlessly to you as you go deeper down the path. And it is not something which is dependent or for which you're desperate for, or which is just a hoped for, yearned for dream. So that is what Reiki is for me. That's what it has been for my own life, because I sought it for my own self way back, many years back, before I was even guided, before I even had any clue that I would be guided to help others with it. On this path, on my spiritual path, Reiki has been one of the most valuable, cherished tools that I am forever grateful for, and I truly hope to be able to help as many people as possible who are aligned with me and who the divine thinks I'm ready to support. So I think that's soul fulfilling work for me, and I truly hope to be able to help more and more souls along the path to their own inner empowerment, as might be my specific role in their life journeys. So keep raking and keep connecting with your own inner light.